Welcome to the Roadmap to Secure Love. In today's episode, Kim and Kyle discuss the unspoken rules around sexual ethics, sexual imagery, and social media that can save your marriage with these conversations. Let's dive in.
So you're about to get married, and a lot of people will see therapists, they'll see a counselor, they'll see somebody from a faith community to help give them what's called premarital counseling. Some people won't do any of that. But some of the holes that I find in my office after people have already been married for a while is that people really haven't talked or shared with their partner about sexual ethic. And they actually get really, really caught by the difference of the sexual ethic. And what that looks like is like, and we'll talk about all of this, right, Kyle, is like sexual imagery, pornography, um, Facebook friends, what's an emotional affair? I mean, all of these things we have to talk about because what happens is somebody does it and then they're like, you've cheated on me. And the other person's like, no, I haven't. I don't understand.
Right. And this is a thing where, because it's unspoken, partners aren't in agreement, but they have these hidden expectations about what it means in a relationship. Oh, porn use is totally fine. But if the other partner's like, no, porn use is not acceptable. And they don't talk about it. They don't talk about their masturbation habits. They don't talk about, what they're scrolling on social media, who they're following, who they're commenting, who they're sending DMs to, right? It can lead to a place where there can be a big rupture, sometimes where it does go to a place where it's named an emotional affair or cheating,
Yeah.
because they haven't taken the time to be intentional and have a very deliberate conversation about what is your sexual ethic, what's mine, and how do we make this work collaboratively together.
Yeah. I mean, we've got to have these hard conversations.
Yeah, they're needed.
Like, what is considered sexual imagery or pornography?
Mhm.
Is it, what we watch we download? Is it certain shows that we watch?
Mhm.
What does that mean?
Right.
And how do we feel about that?
And this is what we invite couples to explore, right? We don't give them the definition. We give that to them, and we encourage them of what we're helping them explore, just like we're helping you as the listeners to this podcast episode explore what is sexual imagery, what's okay, what's not okay. Is it okay to see someone in a bikini? Is it okay to see a man with his shirt off, right? Is it okay to watch people having intercourse, or oral sex? What is that? What's okay for each partner when
Yeah.
it comes to just sexual imagery alone?
Yeah. And how can we negotiate?
Mhm.
Because I'm assuming that when people get together, their sexual ethic is very different.
Mhm.
So one person's view on sexual imagery and another person's view on sexual imagery might clash.
Right.
So we don't want either of them to feel like they're giving something up because that never is lasting, right?
No.
You've got to negotiate where both people win somehow in this
Mhm.
and feel good about it.
So if we just stick with sexual imagery as an example, what would negotiation look like?
Yeah, you'd have to start talking about number one is like how you brought up around sexual imagery.
Mhm.
What's the meaning of it for each of us? Where
Mhm.
did we learn it was good or bad or indifferent?
Mhm.
What do we say about ourselves and the other person if we engage in sexual imagery? Are we allowed to watch it alone? Does it matter partnered? Is there stuff that's off the table? Is there stuff that's on the table? Um, do we just want to do ethical porn? Does it matter where it comes from? So there's like all of these layers that really talking about that with a professional, a sex therapist specifically, really, really helps kind of adjust what we need,
Mhm.
what we need to talk about. There's a lot there.
There's a lot there.
There's a lot there. Why do we believe what we believe? That was taught to us.
Mhm.
some of those things I don't want to keep holding on to. Maybe I was taught that porn was bad and now I don't feel like it is. Or maybe I thought it was nothing was wrong and now I think it does. As a partnership, you've got to kind of co-create what you want to set your relationship up to now, not just what your parents or your caregivers told you or your faith community or whatever, but you and your partner. How do you want to co-create the
Right.
definition?
Mhm. And as you do this conversation, it's really important to talk about these ideas, where they came from, with curiosity, right? Where did you learn that? And I think the part of not only where did you learn that, the part of what does it mean to you? What does it give you, or what does it protect you from, right? Really getting deeper on why someone sees it the way they do and where they learn that or where that came up is going to be really important, so partners can really see each other and then decide and negotiate what's okay for our relationship and what's not. And the thing we don't want to get into was one partner going, yeah, I don't want any porn. I don't want any sexual imagery. I don't want you commenting on any of this stuff. And the other partner just going, yep, okay. But then going and doing it anyways, right? That's not being sexually ethical with each other and not working with each other on how do we make this work for our relationship so you and I are safe. So we
Yeah.
are on the same page, we're in agreement. And so, Kim, are there other strategies just to create kind of that container of safety to explore and be open as we kind of work on creating some of these agreements and talking through these crunchy areas?
Well, first of all, I just want to normalize that, of course, people are going to get into the thing of like, my partner says no, and me go, okay, because what's at stake? You're afraid of losing the relationship.
Right.
So, of course, it makes sense why people go, yeah, I could totally commit to that,
Mhm.
and really you can't.
Right.
So, if you can't commit to something for 20, 30, 40 years, I wouldn't say yes to it,
Right.
right? Like, this is a long-term thing. But I get why people say, okay.
Mhm.
They think that they're going to lose the relationship. And the fact of the matter is that it causes more harm if we're not honest at the beginning.
Right. It creates a betrayal.
Yeah. And that's really hard to get over.
Mhm.
It's not impossible.
Right.
It's just an extra thing that we have to get over. So leading with curiosity is amazing, and also not taking things personally, not allowing, like just coming with this place of information and sharing, but
Mhm.
not judgmental,
Mhm.
right? I think that's extremely, extremely important.
And that can be hard, right? Especially if, we're with a partner who might think porn use or masturbating solo is totally fine. And
Mm.
for us, it means that they don't want us. It means that I'm not desirable. It means that I'm not good enough,
Yes,
right? And so, how do we let our partner into those fears of what it means without judging them for what they've been doing? And that's a really tricky place.
that is so tricky because what we all think, the way our brain works is we have opinions about ourselves and we have opinions about others.
Hmm.
So the opinion that you just talked about is that if my partner does porn, they don't love me.
Right.
And then somehow my partner's kind of like icky or something's there, like
Right.
unethical, like, come on. So it's really important to view our bias of like, what does this say about me? And what does it say about my partner? And how can I work through that so that I can come with an open heart and an open mind,
Mhm.
non-judgmental presence, so that me and my partner can come to an agreement? It's hard work.
It's so hard. I think I mean, we're just talking about sexual imagery, and there's so many layers to this,
Oh my gosh, yes.
right? And another really important layer is talking about sex and intimacy. Do you go and talk to your girlfriends? Do you talk to your guy friends, right? Do you tell them about how much sex you have or how good it is or how bad it is, right? Is that a violation of trust, or is that okay? And I find a lot of couples do not talk about that. They don't have actually, if there's challenges with our sex life or things are going good, I just want that between us. I don't want our friends. I don't want family. I don't want people, I mean, a therapist you might want to provide an exception for, right? But I don't want people in our close circle knowing about these things because
Absolutely.
that would feel uncomfortable. Whereas other people, they're like, no, that's totally fine. But this is important to talk about because we don't want to go out drinking or saying other things to our friends and have it come back to our partner and it feel like a betrayal, right? So it's important to get clear on what's okay to talk about to friends and family or other people who aren't a therapist and what's not. What's on the table, what's off the table.
And one of the things that always catches me to be able to talk to my partner is this story about me alone,
Hmm.
or is a story about others? And if the story is about others, I say to myself, oops, before I say this, I need to actually check to see if this is okay. Because it's not fully my story to tell,
Right,
right? It's only my part,
right.
not everybody's part.
Hmm.
So I often stop myself and be like, okay, well, can I go back to my child? Can I go back to my partner? Can I go back to my parents? What is okay to share and what isn't okay to share?
Hmm.
And just thinking like that is hard, especially in a world of social media. We just like type it out.
Yeah.
We have become in some ways a society, I think, that just overshares.
Hmm. Right. And I think the problem is in that oversharing, it can leave our partner feeling betrayed, vulnerable, exposed because you don't have their consent. And so what we're doing is around the sexual ethic is getting consent
Hmm.
around what's okay for us to talk about, what's not,
Yeah.
right?
And as we were talking about this, Kyle, we had like 15 things,
I know.
you know? And so we're going to keep talking about this because I think it's important. Like talking about this before you get married is huge,
Hmm.
or having any kind of commitment. But let's say you haven't done it.
Right.
We still have to have these conversations because they just will come up.
Hmm.
And then one of us is going to get hurt. And we can avoid some of that hurt if we just talk about it.
Right. I mean, I think a common place that people get hurt is social media, right? They see their partner scrolling or commenting on another person's post, and they're like, wow, it touches fears. You like that person more than me, or that person's more attractive, or oh, that's your ex from 4 years ago that you're still talking to, right?
Yes.
That hurts. It feels like we weren't on the same page about that. And so
Yeah.
that's again an area of, on social media, what's okay to talk about with people, what's okay to follow, to like, to comment, to DM people about, because that's an area where a lot of emotional affairs can happen because partners haven't been explicit about what's okay and what's not okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And then you begin to overshare, or you begin to look at an old lover or an old partner, and their jealousy kind of comes up, and you'll be like, hey, what? Everybody should know not to befriend their ex-lover.
Mhm.
Why should we know that?
Right. Whereas other people are like, I love all my ex-lovers. They're great people. There's nothing wrong with that. I will always love them. And that's totally okay. And that doesn't mean I don't love you less. Right. But again, right, there's the difference. And it's in that difference that we can get really caught and really hurt
Yeah.
because we're not explicitly talking about what our ethics are as individuals and what we choose as a couple.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing, Kyle, is that we have to lead with curiosity,
Mhm.
and we need to do the hard thing, which is to have conversations that may feel us uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and to have them with curiosity and non-judgment.
And be vulnerable, right? To let our partner get a chance to see us, right? Talking about sexual imagery, talking about some of these things. It's really vulnerable to talk about what we think is okay on social media, you know, following certain people, liking certain photos.
Mhm.
That's vulnerable. And it gives you and your partner the best chance to see each other and come to an agreement about protecting the relationship in both public and private. And that's what this is all about.
Love it.
Today's conversation gave us powerful takeaways. 1. Define your sexual ethic. 2. Lead with curiosity. 3. Communicate boundaries early. 4. Negotiate openly. And 5. Protect trust together. Follow Kyle and Kim on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Be sure to sign up for the Secure Attachment Path course to explore your attachment style, uncover relationship patterns, and learn practical tools for building secure connections. Link to the course can be found in the show notes and on our website. Until next time, stay connected and love fully.